make sure that we wait here for a moment for everybody to join. I appreciate y'all joining. Once you have, we're going to kind of give a breakdown of what exactly we have going on. We're going to go through South Dakota weather here first, and then we're going to go ahead and go through some of the other risks, and we're going to hit Texas. We're going to hit uh, as well as some discussion about the storms that are expected early next week. We're going to go through all of that here very shortly. Thanks for joining Aqua Loa and Mike Eads. We're going to get to South Dakota weather 7-day forecast first and get that kind of out of the way here. But first, I want to thank our wonderful sponsors, Mission Nutrition, Fit Revolution Nutrition, and Refuel, all located in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. A little bit about me. I went from 252 pounds down to 185 pounds, and I've been keeping that off for a number of years. They definitely know what they're talking about. So if you want to do your best to stay on track with your nutrition, check them out today if you're in the Sioux Falls, South Dakota area. They can cook up some wonderful shakes. My favorite is kind of like a coffee one, which would be like a brownie batter mocha. I put it on the rocks, so it's kind of like a Starbucks without all the sugar. All right, let's go ahead and get to your 7-day forecast for Sioux Falls. We're expecting kind of a ugly, gloomy day, 62 degrees. And for those that are just joining, be aware I'm getting to all that other stuff weather related that's for much of the U.S. So stick around. We're going to definitely get to that. If you have not already followed, please go ahead and follow. We will go ahead and get to all the crazy weather that is expected for areas of Texas today very shortly. Saturday and Sunday for Sioux Falls, South Dakota, expecting some of the winds will start to shift out of the south and the southeast, so that'll pump in some more moisture for those storms to potentially fire Saturday night and even into Sunday night and pushing all the way into Monday. So we do have some risks there. Just be mindful of that. There's some risks. Could have some hail when we go into Sunday night into Monday. And some of those risks are likely going to push off over into Iowa. There's going to be a chance for tornadic activity into areas of Iowa once we get into Monday. So hold on to your hats. It's going to get a bumpy ride as we get into next week. Tuesday, Wednesday, a few bouts of some more showers for Wednesday, but not anything significant, not a total washout. And then let's go to Aberdeen. Bear with me while this updates. There we go. So Aberdeen, South Dakota, 60s for highs today. And we are expecting, again, some of that moisture to pool in and go that far north. But again, thunderstorms possible Monday as well. And that would be along the I-29 corridor in the northern region as well. Wednesday, expect to get into the mid 70s, 69. I know we have it there, but it's probably going to be pumped in a little bit further because we do have those winds out of the west southwest. And then Thursday, back into the upper 60s. Rapid City, we don't have any snow expected, thankfully, but we do have very little chances of precip um, on Saturday and Sunday. I apologize. And then Monday is more where we get more of that moisture in. Again, northwest breeze coming, well, I shouldn't say a breeze, 12 to 20 miles per hour gusts. And that will help spark some possibility of some light thunderstorms. Not a total washout there either as of right now. Wednesday and Thursday, expecting upper 50s for Wednesday and 60s for Thursday. Pier, that's a little more of a concern for Sunday night into Monday because we do see the latest information suggesting that areas of Valentine, Nebraska, so kind of that South Dakota Nebraska border, could end up having some pretty significant storms that happen in those areas. We'll have to take a look at the latest weather models as well. But look at that crazy Monday night low, 33 degrees. And for the high that day, 70 degrees, that tells me right there that there's definitely a possibility of some storms because when you're talking almost 40-degree difference, it's going to be interesting to see how all this pans out. But that is the latest information that we have for those updates. Let me go ahead and get back to what you probably all are here for. I want to give you some information first about the last 24 hours of precip. As you can see there, there is quite a bit of moisture that has fallen. Just wait one moment here. But here's the risk for today. 5% area for tornado activity. That is in that brown section there, and I'm going to break down all the weather models. So I appreciate you all continuing to join. Thanks, Linda, for sharing the live. I appreciate that so much. We are seeing uh, these storms to fire up fairly early in the day. We'll break that down for you in just a minute here. Let's go ahead and take a look at HRRR weather model and make sure that I have the latest one here. This is how it could play out in areas of Texas today. We're going to kind of span through here, but before I do that, I do want to make sure that I get this minimized a little bit further so you guys can see the time down below. Sorry, kind of changing some things around here, folks. All right, so that's a look at like 8 a.m. and then we're going to 9, 10. Not too shabby. Once we get into like the 3 o'clock hour, that's when things really start to spark up. And again, those areas of Texas that could end up having pretty significant tornado in some of these cells right here, even extreme southwestern portion. Oh, thanks, Chelsea Ramirez. Thank you so much for the hearts. I appreciate it. The heart me's and the Gigi. I don't know what that is, but thank you very much. Appreciate it. I should put this over here so I can see that constantly. It keeps getting covered up. I've got 3 monitors going and it gets kind of crazy. All right. So as we go a little bit further into the day, 5 o'clock, and then we get into 6 p.m., explosive. And notice how some of these cells are just very individual ones. They're not really connected to each other, and that's why it's so alarming. Good morning, Chelsea. Good morning to you. Um, that's why it's so alarming is because these little cells, they pop up, and it wouldn't take much for a brief spin up to happen in there. And it does show, let me go ahead and see if I can get some soundings on this. Marginally severe is what it says, but who knows? I'm not going to trust that based on that right now. Let me switch over to, again, what all of the risks are today. All right, so this is the overall risks for today. The slight risk is the yellow, and then the marginal risk is the deeper shade of green. Anything in El Paso, I got an alert for high winds. Let's go to that. I'm going to get to your guys' tornado outlook for today first. So this area in the brown, again, that is the tornado risk, and then the green is also a tornado risk for later this afternoon. Your hail is a significant hatched area in around that Lubbock area. And then the wind is the higher risk in that section there. Let's break it down for you with Radar Omega. I'm having some struggles with this pivotal weather fun. So one moment here. I'm more familiar with this than anything, and it's got so many different tools. So let's go ahead and go to a live look. El Paso, Texas. I'll take a look at that right now. So, shout out if you have some areas that you want me to take a look at. I would not doubt you probably have that front kind of moving on in. Let me go ahead and take a look at the non-precip here. Yep, that would make sense. High wind watch right now. It's not a high wind warning, but definitely click the link in my bio, Sarah. Okay, I'll take a peek at that after a little bit, but I'm not on my mobile phone for it. But one moment here. Let me see if I can do that. One second. I might have to do that a little bit later. Sorry, Sarah. Okay. Amarillo, Texas. Amarillo by morning. Uh, Amarillo, you're in that zone where the risk of tornado activity is today. Again, it's 2%, but still, nonetheless, it's concerning. So it's a little hard to see. Let me change this a little bit. I changed it around and was trying to get it to look a little bit better. Not sure what you guys think of this one, but does that does that work better for y'all? Is that easier to see? Chelsea, thank you very much. Yeah, anytime there's a click the link in the bio, I have to be very concerned. Appreciate that. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at how this could play out. I'm going to focus on Texas area right now, and then we'll kind of get to the next week's fun. Right now, what we're looking at is a surface-based SIN that I had up there. So that basically is the cap. And this is a scan that's not fully out. So I'm kind of going to take a look at this with the HRRR weather model that updated at 12Z. It's not fully updated, but again, oh goodness, it looks like these are going to start firing a little bit sooner. Looks like maybe 3 o'clock. So if we have things fueling this at 3 o'clock, we've got plenty of time for things to mature. So I would definitely be concerned about these areas. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate that. Go ahead and make sure if you're able to, you can send some gifts. That would be awesome. I appreciate that so much and continue to share the live. If you share the live, that helps alert, especially with the severe weather going on that's expected in these areas today. If you know somebody, friends, family, you could be part of the wonderful 605 Chaser team by making sure that you share that live with your friends and family, and they will um, be aware. We will probably end up going live later today if this ends up holding true as to what the models are suggesting right now. Now, these areas right here, these are definitely along this Highway 84 and right over by Interstate 27 and even I-40. Those are pretty alarming areas. I continue to appreciate all of the love that you guys are showing with this live in TikTok world. Sammy Crab 666, you are welcome. Let's take a look at a few other factors here. And I want to stay on Texas right now just because of the fact that we got a number of things that are expected to happen today. We're going to take a look at supercell composite. Again, this green is the 2% risk, and then we do have the 5% risk for tornado activity. Probably going to be a little hard to see this, but They do look pretty impressive supercell composite. Let me take a look at the significant tornado parameters, but I want to get this graphic off there so I can kind of show the significant tornado parameters here. Not super impressive, but some of these areas here, this would be an area of concern right here over by, looks like County 86. I know I'm getting deep down into the nitty gritty on this, but where is this, sir? Okay, anything coming up for Dallas Fort Worth that we should be ready for? Jay Bliss, Dallas Fort Worth. We go back to your outlooks for today. I got to get the cities on here. This makes it really difficult when I'm on. Let me get the cities on there. I'm just showing the road network. All right, so Dallas, Fort Worth area, you're in general thunderstorms today. Your outlook for tomorrow continues to suggest that we have general thunderstorms. And then for day 3, which would end up being Sunday, again, general thunderstorms. Obviously, all that can change. So, Jay Bliss, if you're not already following, be sure to follow because we do these live updates every day at 8 a.m. Central Daylight Time. We don't expect to see anything in the Dallas-Fort Worth area until possibly when we get into Monday. I know right now this is just showing a risk up here for Monday, but I do expect that likely to push further into the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So just be aware of that. Again, back to today's risks. And Norman, Oklahoma. Right now, you do have the special weather statement, pea-size hail, obviously, wind gusts 30 miles an hour. Not too impressive right now from a severe standpoint. We'll go ahead and take a look at this. Just general showers. Things are trying to get going. Now, I saw yesterday in areas of Nebraska that even though there was a marginal risk, there was a number of tornadoes that hit in those areas. Ashley Renz, I will definitely get to Illinois here in a little bit. Illinois is looking like probably Monday into Tuesday right now for your severe risks, but I'll get to that shortly. So just because it's in a marginal risk doesn't mean that you can't have a tornado, but this doesn't look too impressive as of right now. Let me go ahead and take a look at the scan here to see if I see anything that's for Norman, Oklahoma right now that would be concerning for this afternoon. Doesn't show anything on these radar, the HRRR that looks concerning. So I'd say you're just going to continue to see some of that marginal risk. Um, there could be a possibility in early tomorrow where things could change. Let me kind of show you what I mean about that. Um, so tomorrow's risk does have parts of Oklahoma into that marginal risk. It's hard to see on there. I don't think this updated right. Hang on one second. Let me make sure this marginal risk updated. Nope, it did not. Let me close out of this here. 1 second. One moment. Yeah, I'm gonna say that Oklahoma, Norman, Oklahoma, is probably going to get some more storms likely tomorrow. I expect this marginal risk that they have here to shift further east as well for tomorrow. Let's go ahead and go over to Illinois because I did say that I was going to get that for Ashley here. One moment. And then I will bring it back over Northwest Arkansas. Not today. I would be on alert as you get into next week. Pixie MILF, definitely next week. All right, so let's go ahead and go for Illinois, and we'll show you the HRRR weather model. Doesn't look too impressive. General thunderstorms is what the outlook is showing for today for Illinois. So this scan up top is showing, excuse me, Central Daylight Time, so just be mindful of that. And again, as we move along here, Illinois, at least for today, you should be good. What I would advise you to do, Ashley, if you are not following already, go ahead and follow, and then that way you can be alerted when we do go live for severe weather updates, as well as we do those 8 a.m. Central Daylight Time weather updates every morning. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at West Texas. Is West Texas clear? No. Western Texas is not clear at all um, for today. They are going to have some impressive storms again, unfortunately, in and around a Lubbock area again. I know that says marginal. I had to move that. So this is a slight risk for that area. Amarillo area, sometime after 3 o'clock is what this weather model is suggesting at this point. Things could start ramping up. And western part of Texas, you are in that tornado risk for today. As you can see, some explosive. Fort Worth, Texas, not expecting anything for that area today. I mean, maybe some rain, general thunderstorms, not anything huge. Obviously, 11:30 when SPC does another weather update for the outlook for today, there could be some changes, but we'll make a post about that if things should change. And then Manhattan, you're welcome, Pixie. Anything for North Carolina? Not today. I will double check that though. Fort Worth and then Manhattan. Thanks, Chris, for the follow. I appreciate it. Let's take a look here. They have claimed this all week and everything's much further to the east. Yeah, that is how things go sometimes. All right, Manhattan, Kansas. All right, Manhattan, Kansas. Your area today is going to be fine. Let's go ahead and bring up the bigger picture here for the categorical outlook. General thunderstorms in areas of Kansas, not expecting anything impressive. Again, I want to remind folks that if you are not following, go ahead and follow. We'll do more weather updates that can that are within 24 hours. I don't like to go too far out just for the sheer fact that we're switching weather models and it gets a little dicey, and I want to kind of stay here and now as best as possible. So make sure that you're hitting that follow if you have not already. OKC is looking fine. Right now, you just basically have your marginal risk. Norman, Oklahoma still has a special weather statement for a few more minutes, but nothing too impressive. And North Carolina, again, flat as, not anything too impressive. North Carolina expecting to have general thunderstorms. We'll kind of move this thing along a little bit since I'm over in that area. As you can see, it kind of fizzles out as we go in to the early morning hours, but nothing really impressive for North Carolina today. You're welcome, Lost in OKC. Is there going to be anything worse than rain and wind for Monday in Lincoln? Emily, that's closer to home for me. I'm in South Dakota, so I am going to kind of uh, show that. I know I said I don't. Pennsylvania, while I'm over in this, and West Virginia, I'll kind of show that as well here. So 1 second, and then I'll go over to the Lincoln Monday fun. Um, General thunderstorms, not expecting other than rain and a little bit of wind um, for areas of West Virginia, and that's likely going to be in Pennsylvania area in the afternoon hours, and then West Virginia could end up seeing that as well after afternoon. Nothing impressive there right now as it stands. All right, let's go over to the fun that we have for next week. I want to break that down for you because I've broken down quite a bit here. And if anyone wants to take lead on helping others, if there's some people in here that want to uh, be kind of a moderator, let me know. I would like you to be somewhat weather knowledgeable, though. All right, let me go ahead and take a look at Sunday and Monday's fun. So this is looking at Sunday, okay? So Lincoln area, Emily, if you're still on here, um, Lincoln area is likely going to have some significant severe weather Sunday and Monday. This is a look at Sunday. And keep in mind, this is 3 days out, so that things can change. And I do expect that slight risk to move even like a more broad area. And then Lincoln, you're in that 15% probability. So Sunday and Monday are pretty significant. And then obviously we're touching base here with Iowa, 30% probability of severe weather. I realize 30% when you're talking, oh well, it's not 100%. Well, nothing's ever 100%, but 30%, 3 days, 4 days out is pretty impressive. So just be aware of that. The one thing that you do need to be mindful in the area of Lincoln for Sunday's fun, that there are significant factors that are going to be playing out with that that could hinder that. There's a thing called cap of the atmosphere, and so it could put a lid basically on things, and things could develop much slower, or they could not develop at all. It's very hit or miss at this point. We are a long ways out. Deb, thanks for sending the rose. I appreciate it. And Linda too, thank you for following. Appreciate it. You're welcome, Mama West Virginia Mama Bear. You're welcome, Flat as Brian Miller. Thanks for the follow. I appreciate that. Trenton, New Jersey. Let me go ahead and break that down. So I don't want to stay on day 3. I'm going to put day 1 back up here because that's Lubbock, Clovis, New Mexico, Hobbs, New Mexico, and Plainview, Texas, and even marginal risk in Oklahoma City and Abilene for today. All right, let me go ahead. Thanks, Tree of Life, for the follow. Trenton, New Jersey, you're in just general thunderstorms for today. Not seeing anything real impressive. I'll get your specific here. Yeah, it looks like it's going to basically, it's not going to really show up until way late overnight hours. So if you like some peaceful rain at night while you're sleeping, Trenton, New Jersey is where to be today. Nico, you're welcome. Glad I could help. All right, let's go ahead and switch gears. I'm probably going to let y'all go here shortly. Usually we keep these lives to about 30 minutes unless there's some crazy weather happening live. All right, so let's see if the HRRR is updated any further here. 1 second. It's a reminder of where that risk is for today. All right, we do not have another weather update from HRRR. We will at 9. But as a reminder, here's where that risk is for the slight risk, and the marginal risk does include Oklahoma City, but as of right now, doesn't look too impressive. Ooh, that changed quickly. Oklahoma City, let me make sure. There we go. Norman, Oklahoma, expecting that early tomorrow morning. So for today, not going to be too bad, but early tomorrow morning. Oh, oh, Wags. Illinois. Illinois, you're good today. General thunderstorms, not anything real impressive, and that's going to be very hit or miss. As you can see, kind of, if I zoom this in here a little bit for Illinois, nothing impressive there. Decatur area could have just south of there over by I-57. Early morning showers, obviously, that are probably ongoing right now. I'll take a look at live radar real quick. Yeah, some early morning showers, but nothing that looks impressive too much. You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm glad that I could help. Goodness gracious, we got 10 more followers out of this, and we got over 1,000 likes. I appreciate that, but let's try to get that up a little bit further. If you have not followed already, go ahead and do the follow. We do these live updates every morning at 8 a.m. Central Daylight Time. We cover what the latest information from the Storm Prediction Center is and what you need to do to prepare for severe weather. All right, so this is speaking of severe weather, this is the tornado outlook for today. Plainview, Lubbock, Crosbyton, Leveland, those are all in the 5% risk for today. Amarillo is in the 2%. And we'll run through real quick, and then I'm going to let y'all go. Oh boy, this thing is having some issues. 1 second, I got to switch. Go back here. I seriously am thinking about if y'all know a better app to use. Lately, Radar Omega has been giving me some struggles, and maybe it's my PC, I'm not sure. There we go. It was like giving me nothing. All right, so again, areas that are Canyon, Lubbock, right along I-27 there. Sometime after 2 o'clock is when we're expecting things to really ramp up. A lot of that could end up having some major hail. I did hear that there's some areas of Texas that had hail over 5 inches in diameter. Pretty impressive, to say the least. So these areas here are pretty impressive. When you start to see these blues in here, that signifies, oh goodness gracious, not Silverton again. They got impacted just recently as well. So these areas near Silverton, um, after 4 o'clock, it looks pretty impressive. So, and even Tulia front is like staying stationary for the whole entire last couple of days and just wreaking havoc. Franklin Kennedy 90. I can't say definitively, and I'll never say definitively if an area this early on is going to have a tornado. I appreciate the question and wanting to be prepared and all that. What I would remind folks is if you are in the green or the brown area, as far as tornadic activity, know where what your action plan is to stay weather aware. Make sure if you don't have a weather radio, I would highly encourage you to get a weather radio because if for some reason these storms don't fire up early on and they start later, you can definitely uh, be sleeping, and those sirens are meant for outdoor alert because you can't always hear the sirens going off when you're dead sleeping and trying to get some good night's rest. So the weather radio definitely helps. All right. Will Dallas get tornado or rain? I don't know again about tornado. Yeah, North Dallas, hey again. Uh, Getting haze and not rain. Yeah. Right now, there's a lot of fog. I was looking at some of the live cams for areas, and there's a ton of fog and just mess there. But Dallas area, I don't know about a tornado. Um, Definitely some wind and rain. This looks like tomorrow afternoon. This is what the HRRR is showing for Dallas area. Looks like Oklahoma is going to get hammered if this would hold true tomorrow. That's why I don't understand. So let me kind of explain what I was saying a little bit earlier. I don't understand why SPC has not updated this to have a marginal risk versus, and I'm just going to double check that actually, just in case it's the app that's having some issues. Nope. SPC still has not updated this. So just based on this weather model, Oklahoma area, I'm thinking tomorrow they're going to have a marginal risk. And they may end up updating day 2 later today at 11:30. So, but as far as Dallas, Texas, I don't see anything getting real significant until sometime early tomorrow. I think this is probably going to take an easterly track and probably expand southward. We may end up seeing this marginal risk for today push over into the Dallas area. But great questions. Appreciate that. All right. Thanks for the follows, everybody. Antlers, Oklahoma. Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. Thanks for sharing the live, everybody. I appreciate that so much. All right, so let's go ahead and get to Oklahoma. Antlers, Oklahoma first. This is for today, so just be mindful. We're still waiting. I apologize. This is not for. Yeah, it is for today. Got confused. So this is for today. Antlers. I expect tomorrow to have more impressive severe weather, but I don't see anything supporting for today. And the times up top are in Central Daylight Time, so just be mindful. 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, Antlers, McAllister, Broken Arrow. Let's see where that is. This is looking at weather estimate for tomorrow. Broken Arrow, Tulsa area. Yeah, I would be staying weather aware for tomorrow. Now, the one thing that could factor in is if a lot of cloud cover comes around, there could be um, capping that it has to deal with. So maybe these won't come true, but based on what I'm seeing, I would be making sure that you are staying weather aware. Scotty Guy 615. Yes, I agree. I was chasing their live on last Thursday, if I'm getting my dates correct, because uh, unfortunately I didn't get there early enough to be able to capture anything. I was having some difficulty with the live stream and getting that going. You were caught in two of them this month? It's crazy. So I'm guessing you're somewhere around the Omaha metro area because that area has really gotten pretty crazy. So speaking of Omaha, since we don't have any real active weather going on right now, let me go to a little bit further out. Let me go to Sunday. Whoops, that's Monday. All right, so this is one, two, three. Yeah, this is Sunday's outlook. So be mindful, marginal risk up here in my neck of the woods. And then Nebraska, you've got more fun in the sun. Well, not really any sun, but slight risk in Broken Bow, Nebraska area. Ooh, Blair. Yeah, Blair is, yeah, it was pretty nasty there. Pat- Patricia Rogers, thanks so much for letting me know that you appreciate the information. And if you're not following already, please do so. So that way you can be aware of when we go live if we do some storm chasing in the field this season. Oh, you fish up there. Ah, little funny thing about me and fishing. My uncle, I'm sorry, I'm going to get off topic of weather, but um, my uncle, before he passed away, did a lot of fishing up in northern Minnesota, and I was super young, so he told me to um, throw the anchor over, and threw the anchor over, and that was fine. Then he told me to pick it back up, and I picked it back up, put it in there, and lo and behold, I no longer had an anchor. Evidently, he needed to change his rope, but he blamed me a little bit for losing his anchor that he had for many years. So ever since then, I just never have gotten around to doing fishing. But it would be nice to get my kids to go to that. All right, any weather for Tom Green County? Tom Green County. I'm going to shut off the risk that is for day three, which would be Sunday, and put back today's outlook so we don't get too confused, or I don't get too confused. Catfish. Ah, all right. Let's go ahead and take a peek at where was I looking at? Tom Green County. I would assume Texas. That's in the San Angelo area. So you're in general thunderstorms. I'm going to give a little bit of a scan here through HRRR and see if I see anything impressive. As of right now, I don't see anything impressive. Let me look at a few other factors. I want to switch to a NAM 3K. It's another weather model that we utilize. Just realized that just updated. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to go to a 4 a.m. update. It doesn't look too impressive there. It looks like it's going to just continue to be general thunderstorms over there for Tom Green County. Love my dogs. I love that dog. I love that dog. What's the weather in North Little Rock going to be like? MTXAFT. North Little Rock. North Little Rock for today. You're expecting general thunderstorms, not anything real impressive. I'm going to pull up the HRRR weather model. That was looking at the NAM. I love HRRR weather model because it doesn't go out very long, but it gives the information that's shorter range. All right, there we go. So, according to HRRR, areas of Little Rock, unfortunately, could see some pretty impressive storms ramping up on tomorrow's weather. And I would say it's going to be late in the day for Arkansas, so it'll start over in Fayetteville around 4 p.m. and then just kind of move right along. Just depends on how much moisture it's able to pick up. I'm sure, obviously, in that area it can pick up quite a bit of moisture, but there's other factors as well. Let me take a look at the SIN here, which would be CIN, and the most unstable Cape. So the Cape is the energy that's needed to fuel storms. So as we go into the 26th here, I'm not seeing anything too impressive for North Little Rock as far as the energy. So you should be good. All right, I'm going to let y'all go. I appreciate again, just as a reminder, every morning, 8 a.m. Central Daylight Time, I'm live on YouTube, Facebook, as well as TikTok here to give you live weather updates of the latest and the greatest. Well, maybe not so great for some folks that don't like severe weather, which obviously we don't like destruction, but we do love getting the weather data information so that we can try to figure out the science of the storms and all that fun. But I'm going to let y'all go. You guys have a great rest of your day. And again, as a reminder, folks that are in the yellow shaded area, be mindful that that area is also under the gun for possibility of your tornado risk. Right near Lubbock, that's the biggest risk. Areas of Amarillo is more on the north side of that, and that's likely to happen uh, in the mid-afternoon, sometime after 2 o'clock time frame. So you guys have uh, a great rest of your day, and I'm going to go get my shakes.